Yes.
We're live. I didn't know. I didn't know. That's okay. That's what happens when we're live, baby. Everything happens.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I hit the live button. But we live.
Yes.
What's up, everybody? You see this young man sitting beside me? I am like super excited. Um, the history, I love to tell people like how I even met folks. I've never met him. I've talked to his mom, and his mom told me about him, and I started just following him, everything he was doing. First of all, I'm going to start off by saying he's just 11 years old. I like to tell people that because what I'm about to tell you is freaking amazing. This kid right here is amazing. Okay, he's 11 years old. He is an actor. He's a model. What else? What else? He hosts different events. He's a young chef. His mother brags about how he cooks it for her. He does everything, and he has his own talk show.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. What's up, young man? How are you doing?
Great.
How are you doing?
Great. Amazing.
Oh goodness! Listen, I'm amazing, amazing. Oh my goodness. So, like I said before, I follow you. You're an amazing young man. You are very well rounded. I love the interview questions that you asked. So I was super nervous because I'm sitting here interviewing a pro right now. Okay. So, but we'll get into that in a second. We're gonna start with the fact that you're 11 years old and you do 11-year-old stuff. Okay. Your mom was telling me that you love Legos, and I'm gonna ask you about that. You love science. I'm gonna ask you about that. You play the piano. We're gonna talk about that. And we're gonna talking about an election. So we're gonna find out what that's about. But tell us about Legos because I'm gonna tell you something. You're gonna know this about me. When I used to take care of my youngest nephew, me and him used to build Lego forts. And we used to play Castleman and all that other stuff. We used to have so much fun. So tell me about your Lego.
Well, about a year ago, 2 years ago, before COVID, I had this little. There was this little event, and I was the bigger man. I was the bigger man. I'm very tall. I'm very tall for my grade and age. So yeah. Yeah, yeah. And everyone said, do I add this? Do I add that? Do I add this? So I was basically like the leader of the group, but I didn't build much, by the way. But, I brought the team to victory. I brought
He
the
said he
team.
brought team victory. Okay. So you was Lego Queen, a Lego King. Could you tell us a little bit about that? You said you brought your team to victory. What can you tell folks like about that?
Well, at this event, I had my co-partner there. He was there like until the very last second of the event. But yeah, they were just asking me, do I add this there? Do I add that there? Do I add this there? And it was very nice. I built this like laboratory table right in the middle, and it was like a house with a car, and yeah, it was very cool.
Woo, honey.
Captain America's Deathmobile. Yep,
Woo.
that's totally relatable to the movies. Yep, that was in Captain America. Yep,
Wow.
no, it
Wow.
was not.
Oh, tell us about science. You love science. What's that about?
Well, I love science because robotics. You could build a ton of robots. One day we were able to build a jetpack. Iron Man helmet if you're into Marvel like I am. You know, nanotech. Better equipment for the disabled without limbs and stuff. And yeah, better equipment to make more blind people see, make more disabled, feel better because there's a lot of bullying and you know, it's not cool. It's not cool. But with that new hyper oh yeah, that'd be cool. Those hyper
like, was my hyper off? No, I'm not advocating fighting. I'm just saying, if it happens to go off, no, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. So there's science, then there's piano.
Yeah. Well, there wasn't really an explanation for this, but a while ago, when I was like 7 months old, my granddad got me this piano thing, this electric keyboard. And I just played a couple notes and I kept repeating it. My mom started crying. I started laughing. And
just,
yeah.
You're like, okay, Mom.
Yeah, I really like piano because you could play a ton of things. It leads into many other things because it really warms up your hand and stuff. And I want to play some, cool music.
Wow. So when you get older, do you see yourself playing in orchestra? I hope I'm saying it right, or band or whatever. Do you see yourself doing that?
Yeah. I'd like to see myself performing in events, doing things, helping the community because that's what I'm all about. Yeah.
And I love that about that. Speaking about helping the community, I like that. Your mom mentioned a little bit about elections, and I wasn't able to go ask you too much about it. So can you kind of elaborate, what's the whole election thing about?
Well, it was to encourage people to vote during the late voting because no one in Georgia voted for some reason. I don't know why, but I still have this pin and a mask for it. Yeah. At the Georgia Lives fundraiser. Yep. It was pretty cool. I met some incredible people, and it was pretty good. Biden won the election. We have our first vice president that's a lady, which is pretty cool. I mean, making history.
Yes. And I was going to ask you how you feel about it, but obviously you're like, it's pretty cool. So I love that. I love it too. Being a female and a woman of color is very amazing to me. So what was it like, in your time, you were able to witness Barack Obama, who's a man of color, and now he was our president, and a vice president, which is, in your time. How does that feel as a young person?
It's incredible. I mean, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. My mom was playing We Are the Champions the whole time.
We are the champions. I love it. I'm actually I'm going to predict something. I don't know if you're into going to politics, but I can see you as as the president of the United States. I could see you doing that. You've already you've done everything at 11. I could see you. What do you think? Wait.
I mean, I could if I wanted to. I mean, I'm not really trying to be the president right now.
Okay.
Or, I mean, it would be pretty cool. Being in the Oval Office and stuff.
I would vote for you, and I'm sure everybody that's basically looking at this, they would vote for you too. So that's just that's the beginning years of your 11 years old. You also love to cook, and I would love to talk about that. Can you tell us about your mom said you made something for her. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, let's start from the beginning. Okay, I don't know how this began. Oh, wait, there's something I didn't tell you. I had a food allergy until I was 7.
Okay. 7.
I couldn't eat normal candy. I couldn't eat bread with gluten because I was gluten-free, and I couldn't have some corn products. So I can't eat normal candy, which has high fructose corn syrup, and stuff like that. So I really had to eat that natural food. And my mom started cooking special meals for me, like mac and cheese without gluten. And like for the school, we brought it there and I helped out. So that's probably what really started me into cooking. Now I make these amazing meals for my mom. Yeah, my favorite meal to create is steak. It's pretty good. And a while ago, I made my mom this noodle meal. I just started cooking. Like, oh, my mom said we were both frozen for a second, but that but I had this moment with my mom when my grandma on my dad's side passed, and I cooked a meal for my mom because she was very sad about it, very sad about it. I never got to meet her. She was a wonderful lady, though. Wonderful lady. Yeah, but I made this meal. I didn't know what I was getting into. I just I'm gonna cook something for my mommy, and then I had all these spices racked up, like all the stuff that I'm gonna add to the meal. But I didn't think of actually having a meal. So then I had to get some noodles that we had and create like noodles and grilled vegetables. And today I made something for my pets. It will be coming up on my Facebook a little bit, but I made this since I have pets, you're gonna get into that. But I have two pets, one bearded dragon, one blue tongue skink, both lizards. Don't know how I got my mom to get those, but I got those. But I made this meal with fruits like blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries, and I mushed them all together and kind of like this fruit salad. And then I had like green beans around it to make like this very special plate. And I gave it to my first pet. She didn't eat any of it because we forgot she doesn't like raspberries. So then I gave it to my second pet, and my skink, it loved all the fruits, but I also had green beans on the side. My first pet loved the green beans, but my skink did not. It was like the complete opposite. So yeah. But then my mom was like, that looks good. Can you make some of that stuff for me and put it in ice cream and stuff? So I made some ice cream for her. And she really liked it. I added some bits.
I love ice cream, but I don't know if I'm gluten free or whatever, but ice cream doesn't bug me, so I can't eat it all the time. You mentioned it just a little bit, but can you tell us a little bit about you being in the Young Chef competition? Am I saying that
yes.
right?
A Master Chef Junior, yes.
Chef Junior, right.
I almost got into there, but something happened with family, so I couldn't so we had to stop it. But I will probably most likely get considered for the next season when COVID's done with.
Right.
In a year. Please just stop. Please just stop COVID. It's been enough.
Yeah. Yeah. COVID is something that it's everybody of all ages, of all creed, and everybody. It's affecting all of us. So your list, your journey of everything that you've done, which is quite amazing, the stuff that you mentioned, the fact that you love science, you play piano, you was in cooking competitions and Lego competitions. You've also modeled, which I could see, very handsome young man. Could you tell us about that?
Yes, I started homeschooling about 2.5. It's almost 3 years. I started homeschooling 2.5 years ago, and then I don't know, something just clicked. I'm joking. There's a story behind it. So I went to this this acting camp, this drama camp, and after it, I heard my mom talking on the phone about a mattress commercial. It was already over by the time I heard about it. But I heard her talking about a mattress commercial. And I was like, why didn't you tell me? And I started crying. I never cried. I never cried. So she knew it was serious. So then I started acting. And then I also started modeling. I modeled for some amazing people. Fat's a designer, you know. I did some incredible stuff. And it was about the same time I started acting, maybe like a couple months after. And I had this signature pose. I'm probably going to change it up. But I leaned, like I went down on one knee. And I just did this with a serious face. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. You are very charismatic.
Yeah.
I really think you need to run for some kind of political office. You would really win. And your acting, you mentioned a little bit about that. Can you tell us like what have you been in and things like that?
So the first thing she got me in was the next role for First Man. I did. I really liked it. And then the second thing, I'm pretty sure it was the second thing. The second thing was called Pulpit Gangster. It was about the tragic things that happened with the church, the cult church. Basically, they were giving their kids away basically for slavery. We're done with that time. It's 2012, people. Come on. It was back in 2012 or something like that. And I was playing the role of Brandon. And my role was to get beat up by one of the preachers, by one of the deacons. Yeah. I said I had a dream that the preacher was the devil. And then I said that to the preacher. And then they made the deacon whoop me. It didn't hurt, by the way. It didn't hurt. Okay.
Well, I hope they used a stunt double. I'm sure they did. That's amazing. That's amazing. You've done like, oh my gosh, you've really done a lot. Is there a role that you like did, because I like to act. I've been in a couple of things. Is there like a role? Because once you start acting, you're like, I want to do this. I want to do this. Is there a role that you really, really want to play?
Like a French Prince of Bel-Air role.
Yes. Yes. You hear that? People who write scripts, or maybe you write scripts, I don't know. But people who write scripts or whatever, put this kid in first. I see that. I would watch it. Popcorn and everything. Sit there and watch it. I would really watch it. So, you've also hosted events, something that I love to do. Could you tell us about that?
Yes, I right here, as you see, right here. I have this show called JALEN Says every week, Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in. Remember that. Tune in. Okay. But I interview great people, great, amazing people. My first interview ever was Michael Collier. Yeah, it was pretty nice. And it made me get into all these other interviews, Tony Terry, The Whispers. And I really like what I'm doing. So you guys tune in, subscribe, hit the like button on YouTube. JALEN Says live show on YouTube. Subscribe. Yes.
Subscribe. Yes. I like the show. I watched a couple of episodes. Do you have a particular? No, I'm not going to ask that because you're not supposed to give away your style of interviewing. But is there someone out there you're like, you know what? I really want to interview this person, and who and why would you want to interview them?
They're shit people. Kevin Hart and Will Smith.
Ooh. Look, y'all, Kevin Hart, Will Smith, y'all looking. This, I would love to see that interview. I could just imagine how that interview would go. I mean, could you? What is your favorite person that you've ever interviewed so far? And I'm sure everybody's your favorite person, but which one stands out to you the most?
Well, my most memorable, there's actually three most memorable ones. My first one with Michael Collier. My one with the Whispers, because that was a pretty good one. There's actually four. My end of the year show, the Good People show, that was a good one too. And Griff, comedian Griff. That was a good one too. That was a nice one for me.
Oh wow! So you've done it all, Jalen. You've done it all. You're only 11 years old. Is there
Yeah,
something?
I'm also a part-time comedian.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Is there something else out there? Like, I feel like, like when you're young, okay, when I was young, not yet. When I was young, I was sitting in class. Teacher says, what do you want to be? I said, I want to be an actor. I want to be a model. And I loved Oprah. I said, I want to be Oprah, right? But you are an actor. You are a model. And you are, I'm not even going to say Oprah, you're Jalen. Is there anything else that Jalen wants to be in life?
Something else I'd really want to be is, if you saw this video, you may have not, but the fastest speaker in the world, because he was talking very fast and it was very nice. But actually, I don't know. It's where the wind takes me. I just want to make people happy in what I'm doing.
I love it. Can you give anybody advice to our young entrepreneurs that are, they want to do things in life, which you have already done so much? What advice would you give them?
Well, I have some advice for the parents and for the children.
Yeah.
For the parents, if your son or daughter says they want to do this, see if they really want to do this. Put them in some courses. You don't even have to pay money nowadays. You just have to get them into like free Zoom conferences, workshops for acting, free modeling gigs, and see if they're really up for it. And if they are, then you could probably start putting that money in and just finding them stuff, because you have to, don't know the saying, but you have to keep that fire going. You have to fan the flames. Definitely said it right the first time. You have to fan the flames. And you have to, keep that dream going for them. And for the children, make sure you're doing this, and make sure this isn't like the 10th time you said you wanted to do something, then backed out as soon as you saw what you had to do. Make sure of that. And when they start putting in money, don't waste their money. Do what you need to do to keep the fire going. Because sometimes if you fan the flames, you keep fanning it, but the fire just might burn out, So you just have to, keep the flame going for the parents and for the children, yes.
I love it. Fan flames. I love it. I love it. You know what? I feel like there's so much more to your story, and I'm sure we haven't touched all of it. So I would like to officially invite you back, because I know when I invite you back, you're going to have so much to your portfolio. I want to say thank you so much for coming live with Dee Dee. You are amazing. You look very nice. I like the bow tie, by the way. I meant to say something about it. I like that bow tie. He's like twirling it around. I love the bow tie. Tell your mother I said hello. She's a beautiful person. One of the things that I do recognize about her is the first thing she said to me. She says, I want to make sure my son is still a kid, but I want to also make sure that he's able to do and achieve everything he wants in life. And I believe that she's doing a good job. So I want to go do a shout out to your mom and say thank you to your mom, your parents, your back, the people who are all supporting you. Thank you. I want you guys to follow Jalen. Could you tell them again how to follow you?
Well, you could follow me on JALEN SAYS live show YouTube. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, like the videos. Thank you, because that really supports me out. You could also see me on Facebook, like those videos, heart them. You could also see me on Instagram, Jalen Aliyu, and also Jalen Says. And on Facebook, it's Jalen Aliyu, JALENALIYU for Facebook, JALENALIYU for Instagram, JALEN Says SAYS for Instagram again, and Jalen Says Live Show, JALENSAYSLIVESHOW for YouTube.
Awesome, awesome. And I believe that I tagged your YouTube link to this one. So if you guys want to check out his videos after this, make sure you subscribe. It's very important to support this young man. He's doing some big things. And look, you can say that they knew you when you was doing everything you're doing, which is a lot, and you're doing a lot. You're very successful at what you're doing. I wish and pray continued success to you. Again, thank you so much for coming on the show. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. This was, to me, I want to say this is one of my favorite shows. I love interviewing folks like yourself. This, to me, this is one of the yours and Heaven Hightower and a bunch of other people I love interviewing. Harriet Burnett, I did an interview with her too. She's on the line right now. She's amazing. So what I would love for you guys to do is to follow me on YouTube. It's the Dee Dee Walker Live Show. Make sure you subscribe, like Kim said, like and hit that bell. What you said, hit the bell. Hit the bell.
Hit the bell to get notified for all the upcoming videos. Yeah.
There you go. I love it. Listen, thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. It's been wonderful.
Thank you. Bye.